Hi there, I'm Leslie and I'm here to explain how to play Taco versus Burrito. First, let's start with the setup. Each player chooses to be a taco or a burrito. In the base game, it doesn't affect how the game is played. Deal each player 5 cards and then place the remaining cards face down in the center of the table. This is called the draw pile. Make sure to leave space next to the draw pile for discarded cards. This will be the trash pile. Everyone checks to make sure they don't have the health inspector. If you have the health inspector, shuffle it back in the deck and take a new card. The youngest player goes first. Then the person to their left goes next, moving clockwise around the table. On your turn, you draw a card and then play a card. The next person then draws a card and plays a card. This continues until all the cards in the draw pile are gone. Players then skip the draw part of their turn and continue until someone is completely out of cards. But we'll talk more about that later. First, let's talk about how you play a card. On your turn, you can either play an ingredient card or an action card. Ingredient cards can be placed in your taco or burrito, which we call your meal. When you do this, it will increase the value of your meal. Or you can play an action card. For example, you could play a tummy ache on another player. When you play a tummy ache worth -3 points on a player with 6 points in their meal, this will reduce their meal by 3 points. You could also play the hot sauce boss. This will double the value of your meal. But it's important. Depending on your strategy, you can play ingredients, hot sauce boss, and tummy aches in any meal, including your own. The next action card I'd like to talk about is the No Bueno card. The No Bueno card can be played at any time, even when it's not your turn, and they stop the action of another player. So for example, if another player puts down the trash panda, you can block it with a No Bueno, and that card will have no effect and be put in the discard pile. If they had a No Bueno card, they could counter with a Si Bueno, and so on. No Bueno cards can stop any ingredient card or action card except the health inspector. The health inspector is the only play immediately card in the game, which means when you draw the health inspector card, you must immediately throw the contents of your burrito or taco in the trash. You keep your hand, but the contents of your meal is now 0. Next up, we're going to talk about the Crafty Crow. When you play a Crafty Crow, you can pick one other player and steal any item from their taco or burrito. And remember, if they have a No Bueno, they can block your crafty move. One of my favorite cards is the Trash Panda. When you play the Trash Panda, you can select any card from the trash pile and add it back into your hand. Now let's talk about Food Fight. If someone plays a food fight, that player then flips a card, and each of the other players also flip a card. Action cards are worth 0, and ingredient cards are worth the value of their card. The person with the highest value ingredient wins, and that person gets to choose one of the cards that were flipped over and add it back into their hand. And the remaining cards get shuffled back into the deck except the food fight, which goes in the trash pile. But let's say when everyone flips, no one gets an ingredient card. Simply have everyone flip again, just like the first time. If 2 people tie for the most valuable ingredient card, then those 2 flip again. In these 2 examples, the winner can choose from any of the cards that were flipped over. And if there aren't enough cards left in the draw pile to finish the food fight, then the food fight stays in the discard pile and all of the remaining cards are shuffled back to make the remaining draw pile. And the winner of the food fight goes next. At last, but not least, the Order Envy. This card is a real game changer because when you play an Order Envy, you pick one other player and swap hands and swap meals too. See what I mean about a real game changer? The game is instantly over when the draw pile is empty and one player runs out of cards. Now, you need to tally up the points to determine the winner. So that's basically it. No 2 games are the same, and it's always exciting till the last card. Feel free to watch this video again or review the instructions. Oh, and we have other videos and an FAQ over on our website at www.tacoversusburrito.com. Have fun, and thanks so much for playing Taco versus Burrito.